Today I want to talk to you about enzymes. Enzymes are a type of macromolecule. Specifically, they are a type of protein. And the role of enzymes is to alter the rate of chemical reactions that occur in our body. So you may want to write this down. Enzymes alter the rate of chemical reactions. Okay, specifically, enzymes are what we call catalysts. And what a catalyst is it's something that speeds up a chemical reaction. Reactions in our body like, getting rid of our carbon dioxide, bringing in our oxygen, digesting our food, breaking down starches, things like that. They all have a certain rate at which they may occur. Enzymes are what help those reactions occur at the correct rate. In fact, enzymes can speed up reactions up to 10 billion times faster than what they would occur naturally without enzymes. A couple of facts about enzymes. First of all, enzymes always end in the suffix "ase." For example, we have talked about the enzyme helicase that actually unzips the helix of DNA for replication. We've talked about DNA polymerase. We've talked about RNA polymerase. Another enzyme that you may have heard of is something called lipase, and lipase actually helps you break down fat in your body. If you remember that a lipid is a fat, so lipase breaks down fat. Okay. Another thing about enzymes is please do remember they are a type of protein. They are a type of protein. Okay. Another fact about enzymes is they are never used up in a reaction. They are never used up in a reaction, meaning that we can use the same enzyme day by day to start the same reactions. Another thing is that enzymes actually fit together with what we call their substrate. Like a lock and a key or a puzzle piece. Okay, and so when I say that they are never used up in a reaction, they're just like a key to start your car. We use the same key every day to start a car. That's the way an enzyme works. Okay, so let me show you a picture. Let's just say, let me find one. Okay, here we go. This right here would be an enzyme. Okay, and that right there is what we call the substrate. So it says an enzyme fits with the substrate the same way a hand fits in a glove. The substrate fits into the enzyme's active site, creating an enzyme-substrate complex. Then the enzyme slightly changes shape and distorts the substrate. So there are a couple of important terms in that statement. You have to know what a substrate is and what an active site is. So let's go back to our notes that we were making. So a substrate it is actually what an enzyme binds with, or what it connects to is the reaction that it's going to get started. Okay? Remember, it does fit with a substrate like an lock and key. And then another term is what we call an active site. And that is the exact location where an enzyme joins its substrate. Okay, so let's go back to that picture there. This right here would be the enzyme. This right here would be, this right here is the substrate, and where it joins right there is called the active site. Okay, it says that an enzyme releases the substrate after reaction has occurred. After this, it is no longer called a substrate, it's called a product. The enzyme remains unchanged and is free to combine with another substrate. Okay? Just a few more things about enzymes is that the goal of an enzyme is to lower the amount of activation energy that it takes to get a reaction going. So the goal of an enzyme is to lower the amount of activation energy it takes to start a reaction. Okay, so the definition of activation energy is just the amount of energy it takes to get a reaction. We want to make things easier, so an enzyme's job is to lower that amount of energy that we need to start a reaction. Okay, a few other things about enzymes is that if you alter, let's just say this, factors that affect enzyme activity, first of all, would be temperature. Enzymes actually can be denatured at what would be really high temperatures or really low temperatures. Okay, another factor that can alter the rate of enzyme activity would be pH. If something has a really low pH, which means that it's acidic, or a really high pH, which means that it's basic, it can actually alter how fast your enzymes work. Okay, and another factor that affects enzyme activity is enzyme concentration. In other words, how many enzymes do you have? Okay. All right, so all of those are factors that affect enzyme activity. So, again, we want to lower the amount of activation energy that it takes to get a reaction going. You can affect enzyme activity by altering the temperature, the pH, or the enzyme concentration. Let's look at a few of these pictures. So it says enzymes are biological catalysts. That is definitely true. They are used up in a reaction. That is false. They are not living things because they are a chemical. They are a protein, so that is not a living thing. They're not made of cells. And then this last thing here says they are protein molecules. That is true. Okay, now if we look here, it says click on the enzymes to zoom in. So if you look there, it says an enzyme is a globular protein molecule. Reactions occur at the active site. So this right here would be the active site. Okay, if we watch this, it wants you to join the correct substrate with the enzyme, and as you can tell, it would be this one because it actually fits together like a glove, a puzzle piece, or a lock and a key. Okay. It says under certain conditions, such as extreme pH levels or temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius, the active site of most enzymes change shape. Now, when you do that, it's denaturing the enzyme. It says the enzyme is said to be denatured, meaning it has irreversibly changed shape. The enzyme will no longer react with its substrate. Okay, if you look here, we've got a lot of enzymes, and if I move this pH, look what happens. A lot of the enzymes start going away. It says the enzyme is denatured in very low or very high pH levels. The enzyme can no longer break down the substrate. The effect is irreversible. Okay? We've already been through this. Okay, and that summarizes the main points on our enzymes. If you look at your worksheet that I gave you, it says video number 2, enzymes are a protein. It says number 1, a protein that speeds up a reaction to create specific products from specific reactants is known as an enzyme. Number 2, the specific reactant that an enzyme acts upon to speed up the reaction is known as a substrate. Number 3, after the enzyme reaction is complete, it is recycled and works on another reaction. 4, enzymes are a type of protein. 5, all enzymes end in the suffix ase. 6. Enzymes lower the activation energy required to begin a reaction. And 7. The region where an enzyme connects to a substrate is called an active site. And that summarizes our lesson on enzymes.